What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the YouTube channel, and in today's video we're gonna have something absolutely different from every video we've had for about a year or so. Now, usually my video styles are I bring you with me to the gym, we talk, we yap, and we work out from anywhere between 45 minutes to an hour long, and sometimes the content just drags on. So we're gonna take that all of that 1 hour content and condense it down to about 15 minutes. That way, for those of you at home that enjoy working out but don't have that much time to watch the entire video, you can get the full workout. And honestly speaking, this is one of the most intense and most productive arms and shoulders routine I have ever seen. Now, I've done research, I've done TikTokers workouts, I've done my own. I've figured out by mixing and matching what style best fits me. So I'm going to show you step by step and with a guided tutorial. That way you can see my best workout routine for arms and shoulders. And if you enjoy the video, make sure to go ahead and like and subscribe. But without further ado, let's get into the rest of this video. Alright, y'all, so before we get into the actual moving sets, you want to first have a weight that you warm up on that's not too light but not too heavy. We're going to be doing around 3 to 4 sets of this type of superset, and honestly speaking, you want to make sure that your starting weight isn't too light but also not too heavy. So let's go ahead and get into the first warm-up set. And with the first set, you're going to skip the entire superset. It's kind of just to get your biceps warmed up, especially because at the beginning, you're going to be more sore. Well, you got to limber up so you don't pull anything. Alright, so now that you went ahead and finishing out your warm-up, this superset I see uses 3 main movement types. So it's going to be a curling set, a skull crusher, and a forearm curl. Those are the 3 main sets, but we add in a 4th superset by having a drop set in this workout. And the way we do this is we start off with 1, a weight that you curl on, 2, a weight that you do your skull crushers on, and then 3, a weight that you do your drop set on, and 4, a weight that you go ahead and do your forearm curls. So let's go ahead and get into this one. Right now, we're going to go ahead and set up, and I'll be right back in once we get all the weights. So we're going to start off this set by doing 10 reps of your first curling set, and this is the same way that you're going to do your skull crushers on. So let's go ahead and get started. This is going to be our first set of 10 strict curls. Alright, and then right after your first set of curls, you're going to go ahead and hop into your first set of skull crushers. Now, this weight is actually, if it's your first time doing a skull crusher, you want to keep it kind of on the lighter side, because if I'm speaking honestly, sometimes this can be a little bit more painful to get started on. So just take it with a grain of salt, do a weight warm up, see if it feels good to you, and if it feels good, go ahead and up the weight. Right now I'm doing skull crushers with 35, and this is how I set up. First, you want to go ahead and put the weight right here on your lap. You sit down, and then with it on your upper chest, you just roll back. You set up as if you're doing a bench press, and then you twist them, lock in your elbows, and then just drop them like that. Now you guys, and right after you do your set of skull crushers, you want to go ahead and drop straight into your drop set, and this one's usually going to be about 5 pounds lighter than the weight you're doing your skull crushers on. So let's go ahead and get into this, our next set of 10. Alright, you guys, and honestly speaking, this is one of the more rewarding workouts. With this one, it's going to be the fourth workout in this superset, and we're going to be doing 2 to 3 repetitions of this. And after this, we're going to go into some what is that? tricep push downs with a cable attachment. So let's go ahead and get into this. You can do another set of 10 with these. It's going to be our fourth workout, a set of 10. And with this workout, the first rep you do, like I just did, that one is a half rep, and then the second one is a full rep. You're going to be doing 10 repetitions of those. The first time you do this workout, you can actually keep the weights all the same for all 4 sets. You'll still get a good workout. But if you want to go ahead and improve over time, you want to go ahead and add the concept of progressive overload into your workout. And by doing that, you just increase the weight little by little over time. And that's how you end up growing size. But this has been the main workout I've been doing that have actually allowed me to grow my biceps. And my biceps are in decent size right now. You guys, and for the next workout in our arm and shoulder day supersets, it's going to be lateral side lateral raises, or whatever these are called. Now, I prefer to do them with a cable attachment because you easily are able to adjust the weight without having to shift out the weights going back and forth. And then also this keeps tension on your shoulder the entire time. So let's go ahead and get into this. The main thing about this one is when you're raising, you don't want to go too high. You want to keep it just about right there, about parallel. But the main thing about this workout is you don't want to go too heavy. With this one, it's more important to focus on the form rather than focusing on the weight. So take your ego out of it, and we're going to be doing 4 sets of 10, 10 on each side. Honestly speaking, you don't even have to go up every single weight. You could do this one by staying on the same weight for 4 sets or making incremental increases. But this one, although one weight might feel light, if you move to the second weight and you just throw it like that, that's a good way to tear your arm and give yourself, like, basically you'll wake up feeling like you just slept on the wrong side of the bed and your shoulder will hurt for like a week straight. So avoid that at all costs. All right, y'all, let's get into this. We're going to be doing 4 sets of 10. Remember, slow and steady in this one. It's not about the speed, it's about the form when it comes to this one. And something pretty interesting on this one, you know, like the machine is right here. If, just use common sense, if you're hitting your right side, move over to the right side so that instead of it being like going down to your side right here, it pulls going in the direction of the movement. Well, in this case, going against it, giving you a little bit of extra room to get that range of motion. Alright, you guys, and this is a pro tip. The reason I like having these cable machines instead of using actual weights is because instead of having to move around back and forth and trying to get machines, trying to get equipment, if you go ahead and do most of your workouts on the cable machine, you don't have to go back and forth anywhere. You can do all of the workouts with a variation on the cable machine. So let's go ahead and get into our next workout. And this is going to be primarily focused on working out your tricep right here. Look at that, baby. Working out the tricep. Now, this is one of the more underdeveloped muscles on most people. So if you spend enough time on your tricep pushdowns and then really focusing on the movement, over time you will build a better physique, because most people have a few weak points when it comes to their body. Usually it's in their shoulders and in their triceps. So you're not one of those people. Let's go ahead and get into this movement, and let me show you the proper form for this workout. With this one, this is one that you kind of load up on. You go way heavier than you were on the shoulder press, on the lateral raises. But with this one, once again, with any workout, no matter if you're doing lightweight, heavyweight, or ego lifting or anything, the biggest thing is about focusing on the form. So with this one, you're going to have it in a prayer stance like this, right? Just imagine you're praying. You have your hands together as if you're clasping like this, right? So you have your hands together, you lock in your elbows on your sides, and then from there, you go ahead and focus on the squeeze going down. I'm going to do it slow, just to exaggerate it. And then once you're at the bottom, you don't stop there. You go ahead and squeeze out, because the rope thing, just so I can give you a visual. This thing, once you get to the bottom movement, you're trying to do that, but at your bottom, right? So that when you're at your top, you're going like this, and then at the bottom, you're trying to squeeze out like that. Now, let's go ahead and do 4 sets of 10 with this. And over time, we're going to increase the weight. That way we can go ahead and have, what is that called? That way we can go ahead and progressively overload the muscle. Alright, you guys, and once you get to the third and fourth set of this workout, it is okay if you're not able to go ahead and hit very strict proper form, because the goal here is to override the muscle and just progressively overload it. So it's going to be exhausted towards the end of your workout. So it's okay if you're go ahead and having a little bit ugly movement. Even when you look at people that lift on professional levels, like Sam Sulek, for instance, he starts off very strict, very formed, but at the end his reps get ugly as hell. As long as you're go ahead and pushing the muscle to exhaustion without injuring yourself, it's fine. But still, you want to don't throw the form out the window, but don't be so tied to it that you're held down. Like Bruce Lee said, be shapeless like water. Alright, you guys, let's go ahead and get into this. Is a gymnast movement. It's going to be a pull-up, but the pull-up is not going to be targeting the lats. It's going to be targeting your bicep. So let's go ahead and get to this next workout, and I'll see y'all when we make that transition. Now, this arm workout is one of the most slept on and underrated ones, and it's honestly one that not a lot of people know about. So if you implement this into your workout, I guarantee you're going to get a size growth in your arms. So let's go ahead and get into this one. We're going to be doing 4 sets of 10 on basically a pull-up, but with a emphasis on your bicep. If you feel it in your lats, close your eyes and really try to focus on that mind to muscle connection so you can feel the most pressure on your bicep instead of on your back. So let's go ahead and get into this. We're going to be doing 4 sets of 10. Now, with this workout, I use this type of bar, and I use the coil strip like this. But you essentially want to think about it as if you're curling the weight. You don't want to feel it on your what is it called, your lats. You want to feel this on your biceps. And the goal here is to do this workout with lighter weight. You don't want to do this one with such a heavy weight, because this is one of those workouts where if you're not careful, you can go and tear your bicep off. So start light, and even if for some of you, just start with a 10 or a 25. There's no shame in starting off light. You work your way up instead of working your way at the top, and you get yourself injured. Alright, you guys, let's go ahead and move into the next workout. With this workout, it's very intense, but honestly, the form behind it is spectacular. You just want to be careful, because the same thing, anytime you're working out any kind of shoulder movement, you got to be very careful not to injure yourself. It's one of the most injury-prone type of workouts. Like, out of all the people that I've known, the most prevalent injury in the gym is going to be a shoulder injury of some kind. So don't force it. Don't overload your muscle too much. Keep it light, steady, and focus on the form. This is with the cable machine. We're going to be working on our rear delts. Let's go ahead and move into the next workout, y'all. I really love that feeling, bro. Alright, you guys, moving into my favorite shoulder day workout. It's going to be a shoulder press. And any kind of press or pushing movements of any kind is something that really resonates with me. If you see the size of my chest, I really like chest day. I really like back day. And honestly speaking, I kind of hate doing these type of movements, but I really love the shoulder press movement because it's just another form of a press. So let's go ahead and get into this one. Same thing with this one. You want to go on the lighter weight shoulder workouts. You don't want to risk injuring yourself, but we're going to be doing 4 sets of 10. That's going to be our magic number, 4 sets of 10. Let's go ahead and get into this workout and focus on the form. You don't want to start all the way out here because you see how my shoulders are very broad. You want to have it to where basically you're at shoulder length. So you see right here, these are basically at shoulder length parallel, and then we're going to lock in our back and push up. And then with this one, we're going to be doing 4 sets of 10. Now, moving into this next movement. With this one, we're going to be doing a tricep push down with the same kind of attachment we use for the bicep pull down. And on this one. Alright you guys, so that's it for today's quick 15-minute guide on my complete arm and shoulder day workout. Now if you want to see the full entire workout ins and outs, I have other videos on my channel that show the entire process, but this is just going to be a quick 15-minute guide. But if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and like and subscribe, and as always, turn on that notification bell so you can see every single video I have coming out. Alright you guys, peace.